What's up, everybody? Here in a very special Dolphin Dive on-site on location on the Heights here at LeMoyne College, and I am here with LeMoyne Dolphins men's basketball player, Mr. Luke Sutherland. Luke and I have been sitting next to each other for how many years now?
About six.
Yes.
Six,
So
seven.
from West Genesee to winning the first ever West Genesee boys basketball state title to you going off to a couple different locations collegiately to coming here to LeMoyne. I've had you on all the way through.
Yeah.
So good to have you back.
Good to be here.
Always good to see you. And when we sit down, I look like I'm almost as tall as Luke. So it's really cool. And if I sit closer, it's the same height. So how you been?
I've been great, can't complain, just getting ready for the season. And as you know, it's pretty exciting going on here. So, just looking forward to the start of that.
We're looking at Division One. You went D1 and then you transferred to another D1 and then you transferred home to D2 and now you're back at D1. So D1 they want you.
It's just I can't escape it. It's just one of those things. No, but it's a blessing.
So what do you think about the fact of your journey from Siena to Bryant to LeMoyne and going from D1 to D1 to D2 back to D1, just what that's been like through your eyes?
It's talked to you about this before. I think it's a blessing, and I'm extremely grateful for all the opportunities that I've had and a lot of lessons learned along the way. So and to have it come full circle my last year, to be able to play Division I schedule and kind of be back in the place that I was, I know it's special to me, and I think that it's a really big opportunity, and I'm really excited to have a good year.
Why do you feel like LeMoyne men's basketball can compete in Division I?
I think that the standard that we've set and the culture we have here, I think, is the biggest thing. And I don't know if you've seen us practice already, and I really do think that we are going to surprise a lot of people. I know that we're projected last in the NEC poll, and we use that as as fuel. And it's something that we look at and we want to prove a lot of people wrong, and I feel like we're going to shock a lot of people.
I went to the Big East Media Day and I was speaking with Georgetown, and one of the guys on Georgetown, we were just doing an interview, and I said, hey, did you know that you're playing LeMoyne this year and it's their first Division I game ever for men's basketball? And I asked him his thoughts. His response to me was, I'm sorry for what we're about to do to them. Does that fuel you when you hear things like that?
People got to say people are going to say what they're going to say. And at the end of the day, we're going to put on the jersey and we're going to play. And like I said, I hope they're taking us serious, because if they're not, it's going to be a shocker for them. So like I said, we're working hard and they are too. And it's going to be a really good game. And like I said, I think we're going to surprise a lot of people.
You're playing your first game ever in Division I on election night in the nation's capital in Washington, D.C. against Georgetown. How cool is it to start off the season in Washington, D.C. on election night?
No, it's awesome. And if you think about it, in the stage of our first game, especially as you said, our first Division I game is in an arena like that, and it's, like I said, it's a blessing, and we're really excited for it.
Georgetown's the first game, Villanova's the second. This community of Central and Upstate New York knows all about the Big East. So to have another school in Syracuse, to be able to have those on the schedule, and like I said, so used to Georgetown and Villanova, but now LeMoyne gets to play them. What does that mean to you to have the Dolphins right there, LeMoyne on your chest, and to be able to go to Georgetown and then a couple days later to Villanova?
I think it's really big for the school too. And the school has done a tremendous job in giving us opportunities to be in these type of situations, and it's exciting for everyone. I think President Lemire talks about it, Mr. Beretta speaks about it, and I think everyone has the same reaction to it. And it's just a really exciting and really good opportunity for us to get LeMoyne's name out there and especially compete at the highest level. And when you come to play college basketball, that is the main thing you're trying to do. You want to play against the best of the best, and we're doing that with our schedule this year.
And you're playing so many games on the road, which a lot of teams here at LeMoyne have to do in this first season in Division I. You kind of have to give to the other places and then get them back over time. What are your thoughts of having to spend so many games on the road?
I think that comes with it. Our first year, I mean, and we have a lot to prove this year. I mean, and no one really knows too much about us, and it's up to us. I mean, we're the first team to be doing this, so I think it's up to us to do what we need to do and kind of earn the respect and just and take it in. I mean, and as much as people think being on the road is this scary bad thing, but it really is. I mean, it's going to be an experience within itself, and we're just going to learn from it and continue to get better each and every day.
Bob Beretta, the AD here, we've talked about the championship experience because teams can't compete in the NCAA tournament within the first 4 years of LeMoyne's reclassification. He wanted there to be championship experiences, that you're going places on the road and getting to have these moments where it's a big stage that feels, like that tournament feel and whatnot. Do you feel like your schedule provides that?
I mean, I think so. I know that. I mean, we have one of the hardest schedules in mid-major basketball. So, I mean, I just from that standpoint, I know that we're going to be prepared to play on big stages. I know we have three pretty big schools and just in terms of name power. So, I mean, we're gonna be playing the best of the best, and I think they've done a really good job with our schedule and providing that opportunity. So, I think it just comes one day at a time. And for championship experience, I mean, we can still get the, you know what I mean? We still compete for championships at the end of the day. I mean, regular season, we can compete in the conference tournament. So every single game builds us toward that. So we just got to make sure that we focus on each and every game.
Here with Luke Sutherland of the LeMoyne Dolphins, a men's basketball team, and West Genesee alum as well here on Wake Up Call's Dolphin Dive. What you just said, the notion of not playing in the postseason, that originally going into the NEC, there was a 2-year block. And Bob made it a point to say, like, please get rid of this. Just take it away and give us the opportunity to compete. If we can't be in the NCAAs, let us be able to fight towards something. What does it mean to you that the leadership here at LeMoyne and the leadership inside of the NEC with Commissioner Noreen Morris agreed to give your team and every team at LeMoyne something to play for?
I mean, it goes to show how much that they do for the athletes here, and they really want the athletes to have the best experience possible and just allow us to be comfortable and compete for what we want to compete for. And it's tough, especially when these schools make these transitions and not be able to compete for championships. And I think that bothers a lot of the players strictly because it almost feels like there's no reward at the end of the season. Like it feels like a lot of the work you've done may not be rewarded. And I think especially with us being able to play in the conference tournament now, and I think that really gives us an extra spark to just, it makes us feel like the effort that we put in every single day, like just the hard work that we put in is rewarded through being able to compete for a championship. And I think that's really important and special that we're able to do that.
And like you said, you're playing for something, because if you don't make it to the championship game, that it's on you. Mm-hmm. It's not because you weren't allowed to play in it. So you're controlling your destiny there. This is your last ride.
Yeah.
What does that feel like?
It's bittersweet, because it's, of course, I mean, my whole life I've been playing this sport. So it's something that now that I see that it's coming to a close, it's sad, but at the same time, I can really see that this game's really helped me become who I am today. And it's taught me so many lessons and it's allowed me to travel to so many places and meet so many people. So I'm forever grateful for it. And I've really been working hard to make sure that this last year I do have the best season I can have. And I really gave it everything I got this year. So I'm excited.
So what about your game has improved when you, in this final season, want to be the best that you've ever been? What are the things that you've done to make sure that that's going to happen? I
think the biggest thing is just making sure that every single day I'm doing the right things and just making sure that it's whether it be the little stuff or just keeping my game simple, whatever the situation may be, just really making sure that I'm doing the best at what I know I'm good at, not trying to do anything outside of my game, and just really making sure that what I'm doing is helping the team and just really locking in that way. And I've seen a lot of progress throughout the preseason and just getting a lot more comfortable within my game this year and just kind of building with these guys each and every day. And it's been a lot of fun so far. What
do you like about this roster?
We are a really close team. And I know that's every team says that, and every team says, the whole culture thing. I think it's always funny when there's new coaching hires, how everyone says culture. But I mean, the group of guys we have are really close. And you can sense that. And in the years past, maybe we might have not been as connected, but this year there's definitely like everyone has each other's back. And I think it's a really, really good trait to have, especially in the task that we have this year, the first Division I season. And I'm really excited. And like I said, I think we're going to be a lot better than a lot of people think. And I'm just really excited to show the community and show people around the country that, this is going to be a program that throughout the years is going to be one to be talking about.
And going through such a difficult non-conference schedule and having a ton of those games on the road, what do you think that'll do come NEC time?
I think it prepares us. I think that's the biggest thing about non-conference schedules is it prepares you. When we play a Georgetown and a Nova and a Penn State and a UCSB, when we play teams like that, and then we come into conference, I mean, we've been on some of the biggest stages in the country, so we know what to expect, and it really just it makes us realize that we're able to be on the floor with these teams and just give us comfortable and give us a lot of confidence and just all in all just make us prepared for what we got to face, and we have our conference this year is a good one, and we're gonna have to compete, and we're gonna have to be our best selves if we're gonna want to give this thing a chance. And I think those non-conference games prepare us for that.
There's games too that are within the state of New York, like Army, like Binghamton.
Yeah.
What does that mean to you?
It's cool. The West Point game is always going to be a fun one, but especially Binghamton with Symir. I mean, that's someone I grew up with too, so I'm really excited for that game. Because it's the first time in second time, but first time was not too. I wasn't too long in that game, but it gives us a chance to kind of play each other. And we were talking about it this summer. It's going to be a really exciting moment for both our families and each other, so it's going to be fun.
And bring me into that conversation with Symir Torrance, who obviously transferred from Syracuse to Binghamton, and just what you guys spoke about, knowing that this moment's going to happen.
Yeah, I mean, me and him, and me and him have been playing basketball with each other since we were 10, 12 years old. So we grew up with each other. It's one of my best friends, and to have a moment like this, we've each went our ways. We've all had our different journeys. We've all had ups and downs, and just to kind of like in our last years kind of meet up and have a game together, it's gonna be a lot of fun, and I'm really looking forward to it.
So you have some additions to the staff as well.
Yeah.
One of them coming from the NBA.
Yeah.
What can you tell me about the additions to the staff and just what your thoughts are on both of the guys that came in?
Yeah, I mean, our coaching staff does a fantastic job of preparing us and getting us ready every day. And Coach JY has been phenomenal, I mean, especially a guy with that much experience, just trying to pick his brain as much as possible and just learning from him. And more so, he's been and seen the best of the best. He's seen the guys that are at the pinnacle of the game. So
yeah,
just learning from him each and every day, and just taking what he says and really making sure I'm doing it at a high level is a really important thing for me and all our guys. And Anton, another guy that just every single day works really hard for us and just makes sure that we're prepared and takes care of a lot of the little things. And we're grateful and blessed to have them both.
So when you put that whole staff together and you're in practice and you're watching film and whatnot, how would you describe the staff that you have?
Especially right now, it's focused. That's how I describe it. And our coaching staff does a really good job. They're all players, coaches. You know what I mean? A lot of confidence within their players, and they want you to feel comfortable. And more importantly, they want you to be you. And I think that that's really important and really rare, especially in college basketball. I think that a lot of people go through a lot of different situations, but what you get with our coaching staff is really real. And I think that that's the biggest thing with them, real.
Nate Champion, how would you describe your head coach?
He's, like I said, a player's coach. He's awesome. And like I said, we spoke about, I went to a few different spots before coming here, and he really gave me the confidence to, like, he reminded me of the player that I was. And in the past 2 years, I thought that I lost that a little bit. And he was one of the only guys that really picked me back up and show me that, I'm good enough to be at this level and good enough to be the player that I want to be. So, and it speaks volumes about him and just the amount of confidence he has in his players. And he's going to be really successful here. And I'm excited to see this.
Would you choose, hindsight 2020, would you choose to play for him again?
Absolutely. I think that it was a no-brainer for me. I mean, he really made basketball fun again for me. So, I mean, I think that's the biggest thing. So, I mean, I'm very grateful for Coach Champion.
We're going to have some games at home. When we have our first game at home for LeMoyne men's basketball, why should people come out?
you're going to see a fun team, and we were speaking about this the other day. I think we're going to provide another team for this community to be excited about every year, and I think that's really important. In Syracuse University, obviously being right down the road, I think this gives, like I said, it's another outlet for people here, and I think we're doing something really good and really special here. And ultimately, I mean, it's positive. So I mean, I'm excited for what's going to come, and then like I said, I'm just really excited for people to see the team that we are, and like I said, we're going to surprise a lot of people this year.
We look at what LeMoyne's been, and LeMoyne's been Division II, but there's so many things on this campus that are beautiful and kind and personal. How does LeMoyne stay LeMoyne with the move to D1?
I mean, I think we see bits and pieces of it, but it's just staying true to what we are here. You know what I mean? The school is so heavily tied into its values, and exactly they do a really good job of making sure that the image that we want to show people is who we are, and we do 1,000 things inside the Owl meetings. We have speaker series. JoJo Gray was here yesterday, and we just, it's just the small things. Like it's just a really good place, and they do a really good job of making sure that the students are in tap with the beliefs here. So they do a really good job.
Yeah, coming from Luke Sutherland. Luke, we're going to do what we've done for many years. We're going to rapid fire this thing. You get to ask me the first question.
Oh man. All right. So I think the one now, I think the necessary question is, what has been your best sports moment? You know, I ask you this every time, but yeah, we have some time between things. What's your favorite sports moment you've been around?
Going to the World Series with my dad. I mean, we just did it. And I told people I've been a Diamondbacks fan since they came out in 1998. So this hat that's got the World Series thing on the side, and this is the sweatshirt that they wore in their dugout. I mean, I said, win or lose, I'm wearing this the next morning. And I wore it the next morning, and I'm wearing it again today. I mean, I think I watched my dad watch the game more than I watched the game in Chase Field.
Yeah,
I just kept turning to my left, looking at him and being like, it's not a mirage. Like, you could touch him, he's alive. Like, just to know my dad was there with me and willing to go across the country for something that his son loves. That just, you know, was one of the greatest moments of my life. And I mean, I can say that I went to the World Series to see my favorite team with my dad. If they won, it would have been great. But ask me now or 10 years from now, and I'm going to say, I went with my dad. Like, that's all that mattered to me.
That's awesome.
So it's an easy answer now. All right, Luke. If you had to describe yourself as pizza toppings, what pizza toppings would you be, and why would they represent Luke Sutherland?
Oh God. That's I mean, that's a unique one. You know, probably go pepperoni, you know, because everyone likes pepperoni. And I feel like I'm a pretty likable person.
Okay.
What else? What other toppings there? I feel like I only go pepperoni though.
Just
Does that make me generic?
Yeah, just pepperoni. Okay.
Yeah, you know,
All
I'll go with that. I'll stick with the pepperoni. You know?
I'm going to tell you, Pizza Man does a sweet heat pizza. And it's pepperoni. It's a little pepperonis, and when you cook them, they curve up.
Yeah.
So it's the pepperonis, basil, meatball, and hot honey.
I like hot honey.
And that's so good. And they were doing Mike's hot honey before all these other people jumped on the bandwagon. So go to Pizza Man if you want like a good hot honey thing. But no, pepperoni works. I like it. I like pepperoni. So you're right. It is like, yeah. Yeah. Just call it like the Luke special. And we just show the pepperoni, and you're like, what's on it, Luke? It's pepperoni. Because most people like pepperoni, and I'm a likable guy.
It's an easy.
That's a good commercial.
It's an easy pitch.
Yeah, I like it. All right, what's your next one for me?
Let's see here. All right, what you had a? Oh, I think we asked you this back in high school, but this was a good one. You know, what's your spirit animal? You know, what animal represents you? You know.
Okay. I would say, I mean, it's got to be a dog because number one, I have a dog mentality. Like, I do not quit. I also love ferociously. I try to love unconditionally as well. And I would say I'm loyal. I'm kind. I'm consistent. and I'm affectionate. So I would say dog.
It's fair. It's a good question.
All right, Luke. If you could change anything about today's world, what's the first thing you would change? My answer is everything.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
probably everything.
I'm trying to think of what I could say to wrap it all in.
Yeah.
I think I could change. I think people's ignorance. I think that's a thing. I think people
Ignorance.
need to be more understanding of others. I
Yeah.
think people jump to conclusions too fast, and I think that would prevent all the conflict in the world. And I think that's the biggest thing. I think people's ignorance. I wish people were more willing to hear other sides and understand one another.
Yeah, most of the issues in the world come from lack of information or lack of desire to have the information.
Yeah.
Which is ignorance. All right, what's your last question?
Let's see here.
You know, the more that I look at this World Series gear on camera, I'm just like, damn, it's pretty.
It
Right?
looks nice.
That's nice.
I think
Let's do it again.
I think a lot of people are rooting for the Diamondbacks
Yeah,
too.
I think we got to do it again, Arizona. I bought a lot of stuff. So, what's your last one?
All right. Oh, that's a good one. If you had the opportunity to meet any professional athlete in the history of time,
Yeah.
who would you sit down and meet?
Well, I will tell you this. So within the past couple, like literally days after my birthday was October 21st. And on October 25th, I was in Charlotte, North Carolina, and I interviewed the entire ACC. I've interviewed Georgia Tech for probably 10 years. Of any coach that Georgia Tech could have hired, they hired Damon Stoudemire. I've been a Raptors fan since they came out in 95. I wanted to talk to Damon Stoudemire since I was 9 years old. Almost 30 years later, I got to interview him. And then he shook my hand a bunch of times, gave me a hug, put his hand on my shoulder, did an interview with me. And like that, took a picture with me. That was insane. It was insane to like be able to give him a hug and say thank you. Nuts.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I think it happened, but there's top two. David Stoudemire and Fred Taylor. Fred, you're on alert right now. Like, I'm coming. So he's down in Jacksonville working out there. So there's a good chance we could cross paths. I hope we do soon.
Yeah.
Also, Randy Johnson. The big unit. By the way, he's not 6 foot something. He's about 8 feet tall. And I want people to know that. I have some fake news out there. All right, my last question for you, Mr. Sutherland. Okay. Since you and I have spent 6 years together, if you and I could do anything, any type of show together in the future, what would we do? Where would we do it? And what would it be about?
Oh man. Can I pick the scenario?
Everything. Pick it all.
Ooh.
By the way, Yaro Zavaslan off camera, fantastic coach. So I got to plug him, right? I think that's in our contract. I have to mention him in every interview.
Oh man. That's a tough one. That's a tough one. You know, I would.
You're like a little brother to me.
Yeah.
Outside of the fact that you look like my big brother because you're taller. By the way, I want to dunk. So if I can't jump up to that place still, will you lift me up?
We gotta do what we gotta do. I think I got one.
Okay.
Because I know you're not a LeBron guy, big LeBron guy.
No.
All right, this is what we're gonna do.
Okay.
It would be Los Angeles Lakers. Their second championship in the next couple of years. So he ties Jordan.
Okay.
And then he's just officially, as if he's not already officially the greatest of all time, me and you can now just soak in the fact that he is the greatest basketball player to ever walk this earth. And
so
it's not even close.
So you want what? Us to interview him?
Yeah, just sit down and talk to the greatest basketball player of
I'll
all time.
talk
We could
with
do
him.
it tomorrow with the same topic. we could. We could. The greatest basketball player ever to live. You know?
Still Michael Jordan. It
I'm
is.
saying you got a hard argument there.
I don't know if we do, but also Kobe Bryant and Bill Russell, my lord. He
Listen.
won 11 championships and nobody talks about Bill
He's
Russell.
great. He's
Just
great.
Utter disrespect.
But he's
to
not
Bill.
LeBron James.
Look, Bill Russell has won as many championships as Kobe Bryant and Michael Jordan combined. And nobody says Bill Russell. But yeah, we can interview LeBron. I wouldn't mind interviewing LeBron. I just don't like the way he goes about stuff. He's very about LeBron.
You know?
It's very all about LeBron. It's like Dion. It's like, if you wear sunglasses inside, we're probably not going to be friends. I mean, that's kind of my law. That should be a normal law.
I think if he can be about himself when he's done what he's done. He's backed it up. He can be about himself with his success because no one's done what he's done on the court.
But I mean, if you're a teammate of his and you just hear him talk about himself for 13 minutes.
Oh, I'm sure. Yeah, but he wins you games. So, you know, you just gotta, sometimes you just
and
got, you gotta
doesn't
do it.
shake hands with Russell Westbrook, apparently. So I don't know what to tell you.
Listen,
but
Russ hid from him. That's all I'm gonna say.
I don't, I'm not involved in that divorce. But with that being said, LeMoyne Dolphins men's basketball student athlete Luke Sutherland and a New York State champion with the West Genesee Wildcats and one of my closest friends. So love this kid. He knows that. Thank you, brother.
Appreciate you.
Appreciate it as always. Talk with you all soon. This has been Dolphin Dive.